All right, fungus and bacteria. I like this image because it juxtaposes the two next to each other. Both of these
Bacteria
are
is
very
usually,
serious.
bacteria is usually the blue and the green.
It is fast moving. This will be
Yep.
painful. You will have inflammation. Um,
It's
and
usually caused, you usually get it with acrylic, because they didn't
sterilize.
cleanse the nail and dry out the top surface of the nail plate enough. So if the top surface layers are not dehydrated enough, you've got to get that water out. If they are not, then the moisture gets trapped in there underneath the acrylic and gets.
So again, this is another important reason to go to a qualified nail tech who sanitizes their stuff appropriately and who knows how to practice the proper techniques to avoid this kind of situation. So this, you need antibiotics.
Yep, they're not your $20 chop shops.
Nope, nope, nope. So don't skimp on it. If you're investing in your nails, invest in your nails. Jewels.
Exactly.
They're jewels, people. We don't want them to fall off and lose them. And then again,
Fungal infections. So, nail fungus is a big deal, especially it's a really big deal with our feet. And that's because fungus likes a nice, moist, warm environment.
And dark.
Yep. And it's easily transferred through other moist environments that may be shared. So it's classic that
showers at the swimming pool.
You'll pick it up at the community swimming pool shower.
The gym.
Or if you go camping and you use a community shower there, that's why you should always wear flip-flops.
Or improperly cleaned pedicure things like that. Doug, that's another thing that'll keep you up at night is reading through Doug's stuff on when things aren't properly sanitized. Whoa.
Oh boy.
Terrible.
Yeah.
So, and again, there are a bunch of different types of fungus too. So it doesn't always look like this.
They don't. And, but when it's so slow growing, I mean, sometimes to get really bad, it takes years. And this is why we tend to see, like, if you're looking at older men, because they don't care. They don't care. So you'll see them and they'll be wearing sandals or flip-flops, and it's like you look at their big toes and you're like, oh my God. And they're really thick and they look like they're crumbly. That's the fungus that's been consuming the keratin, and so it just leaves it all crumbly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's incredibly difficult to treat. So for a product to say it can cure toenail fungus, it's lying. So it's very hard. Still working on figuring out a solution for that. Feel like it'll be the holy grail.
It will. And so it is one of the challenges of why it's so hard to effectively treat is because, one, there are so many stinking different types of it. So one thing that may work for one fungus may not work for another. And so a lot of them, you need to have them treated systemically because it's in your body. So that means you have to take an oral antifungal something. Those are not very fun either. It's hard on your body.
Hard on your kidneys. You have to draw blood and every 3 weeks, I think, or every week for 3 weeks to make sure that your kidneys are still functioning okay. I did that once, but then it worked great. But then about 5 years later, it came back, and it's just because I live in closed-toed shoes in Washington, where it's mostly dark during the year, and so.
And we want to, like, the worst part is if it gets to your nail matrix. If it gets to your nail matrix, you're cooked. Like, it's like, you're done. There's no way that we have at least to effectively eradicate fungal stuff that's penetrates your stem.
I've been working on it, and I think I might have figured it out, but what I ended up doing, so I have had an issue with one of my toenails, and what I ended up doing, and I was kind of dramatic, but I made this choice to not go to the doctor. And what I did was I trimmed away all of that damaged stuff, because in order for any oil, vinegar, Listerine, whatever, there's some of these things out there. And the reason it's so difficult is because the nail plate is thick. It protects it doesn't want to absorb things, medications, and so to have it go through all of those layers and kill all of that fungus, it's difficult.
Yep. So that being said,
Go to your doctor.
Beware of antifungal claims. Like, in all honesty, this is something you don't really want to mess around with. You have time to get it fixed, but the sooner you take care of it, the better. Like the way that the fungus eats the individual cells and
it's just going to keep
working its way up there. So it's, I don't know why, but I just keep thinking of a slug, a slow moving slug. Yeah, it's moving slowly and everything, but if you just hold still, it's going to eat all of it, like your carrot or whatever it is. But all you have to do is like move the slug or like do something about it to prevent that slow, gradual consumption of your nail cells.
Right.
Okay. Whew.